local to global companies make moves for their businesses. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/banking for business.
WNYC has a strong, reliable base of support all year long, thanks to our monthly sustaining donors. If you're a WNYC sustainer and you've received a new credit card recently, please take a moment to update your information. Better yet, use your checking account so you never have to worry about new cards again. Make your update online at wnyc.org/update or call 888-376-WNYC. Thank you for supporting independent public radio.
On Debt, Sex, and Money, there are no heroes, just complicated people.
I've always enjoyed pushing people's buttons. I don't think I have any filters left anymore.
Listen to Debt, Sex, and Money wherever you get podcasts.
Marketplace Morning Report is coming up next, and then in 10 minutes at 9 o'clock, it's the BBC NewsHour on WNYC. Let's check in with London and see what they're working on. London, good morning.
Good morning, WNYC. I'm Tim Franks. On today's NewsHour, tales from an empty land, the reporter in and the refugee from Nagorno-Karabakh, and Shakespeare's stage uncovered. That's BBC NewsHour, coming up at 9 on WNYC.
66 and sunny out there right now. Sunshine today and 75 for a high with a calm wind. Tomorrow morning we need to look for some shower chances. Patchy fog, cloudy and 71. And then on Saturday, yes, showers. Temperatures falling during the day to the low 60s by late afternoon. And then on Sunday, sunny and dry and a high near 60. Again, 66 and sunny at 8:52.
CEOs are still a bit wary.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business, helping provide a smarter, easier way to get the supplies businesses need to thrive. Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying.
From Marketplace, I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer in for David Brancaccio. Nearly 85% of CEOs are feeling confident about the long-term growth prospects for the U.S. economy. That's according to KPMG's latest CEO Outlook survey out this morning. Most are also confident about their own company's prospects, though notably less so than last year. Marketplace's Samantha Fields reports.
Last year, 95% of CEOs said they were confident about their own company's growth prospects. This year, just 79% are. Still high, but a big drop.
I think it's because we have more clarity now about the duration of certain structural changes in the economy.
Paul Knopp is chair and CEO of KPMG.
For instance, higher rates for longer is certainly something you're hearing a lot. The stickiness or stubbornness of inflation with higher food costs, higher energy costs, and certainly likely higher labor costs going into the future.
Even with all those negatives, most CEOs are still feeling optimistic, both about their own companies and the broader economy. A growing number are also looking to get people back to the office. Last year, just 34% said they saw a future with employees back full-time. Now, 62% do. The rest mostly envision a hybrid setup. Just 4% of CEOs see fully remote work sticking around.
If they want them to come in, they need to give them something to come in for.
Kate Lister at Global Workplace Analytics says how companies communicate why they want people back also makes a big difference.
Some of the companies have said, we're going to ask you to come back 2 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever it might be. And here's why. We think this, we think that, we're going to experiment with it.
And she says they're not getting nearly as much pushback as companies that say you have to come back to the office because we said so. I'm Samantha Fields for Marketplace.
Student loan payments resume this month, but not for everyone. The Biden administration has announced the latest batch of debt relief as it chips away at the more than $1.5 trillion in student loans held by Americans. $9 billion in loans is being canceled, and President Biden is promising more. Next week, the Education Department will begin the process of figuring out how to make that happen. Marketplace's Nova Safo has more.
The Supreme Court struck down the Biden administration's broad student loan forgiveness plan over the summer that would have helped tens of millions of Americans. Since then, the administration has been taking a piecemeal approach, canceling smaller chunks of debt through existing programs. The administration is also preparing for a new broad cancellation effort that's through a longer rulemaking process, and it could be reversed by future administrations. Next week, the Education Department will convene stakeholders, including representatives of civil rights groups, colleges, loan servicers, military members, and current students to begin figuring out the new path. The NAACP, which is participating, released an open letter suggesting PLUS loan borrowers, that's parents who took on debt for their children, be made eligible for income-based repayment and eventual forgiveness. The Biden administration says it's so far canceled debt held by some 3.5
I chose WGU because it was more affordable and efficient. The cost of the tuition was way less than what I would have paid doing an associate degree, then a bachelor's degree at a traditional college. The scholarship that I got, oh my gosh, it was such a blessing. I ran out of financial aid and loans, so it was really good to have that scholarship. I would really, really, really recommend WGU.
I need gas money, but I don't get paid till next week. What should I do?
Don't even stress about it. Just download the Earnin app to get paid early. Get up to $100 a day with no interest or credit check.
Download Earnin.
Given a headless House of Representatives, I mean, how are we supposed to understand this thing? For instance, Ian, chances for a government shutdown in November, higher or lower, do you think?
They've just gone way up. And if what people were most concerned about over the last couple of weeks was, can you keep Ukraine funded and can the U.S. maintain that policy? That has just been kicked down the priority list because people are worried about, are you going to have a government shutdown and will you be forced to do a 1% contraction of spend across the board? That has impact on every American in a way that Ukraine feels a heck of a lot farther away.
Right. So if the people in Ukraine are searching for money and other resources for a new spring counteroffensive, next year sometime, this now seems more remote given the turmoil in Washington.
Absolutely. This was a horrible week for President Zelensky in Ukraine. His ability to ensure that he will have the continued support to even maintain present level of military operations, never mind a potential second counteroffensive, those all now look like a pipe dream. And remember, this is coming from the U.S. President Biden, who has said, as long as it takes, whatever it takes, we're there. That lasted a matter of months. The Americans are no longer in a position to provide that. And of course, the U.S. is providing the overwhelming share of military support.
I mean, this is partially answering the next question. Ian, chances for Congress to get anything else done for the rest of the year?
We don't yet know what the rules are for an acting speaker in terms of what they can and they can't actually rule on. We will find out on the basis of the rules making inside the House as they go on. But certainly the ability to continue to get significant funding support, anything the House puts together, anything that can pass the House that the speaker would put forward would be dead on arrival in the Senate. So you're looking at a showdown between the two houses. And again, you're looking at the most important geopolitical issue that the United States has taken a leadership role on. The Ukrainians left in the lurch, the Europeans extremely concerned about the future of the transatlantic alliance.
Ian Bremmer, founder of the political risk consultancy Eurasia Group. Thank you very much.
Great to talk to you.
I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer with the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.
WNYC's broadcast of Market